Welcome to today's video, everybody. It's kind of going to be a sad one. We're saying goodbye to the Yashio factory pink S15. This has been a long time coming, and I've been waiting for the call for forever. But today is finally the day that we're getting all of the dents and stuff, all these little annoying dents that we did a long time ago when my hood flew up, fixed on the roof of the car. And I couldn't be more excited, because that then means that this whole thing is finally getting finished. Like actually getting finished. And you might be wondering, why am I circling things with a permanent marker on my car? And that's just because I want to make sure we highlight everything that I want these guys to work on, because in Japan, there's not really I find that there's generally not a body shop, like a single body shop that's good at everything. One shop's good at something, the other shop's better at that thing, and you kind of just you use them all to your advantage, and you pick the one that's best for one thing to do that thing, and you know what I'm trying to say. So I'm taking this to the place that I know has the right equipment for frame straightening, small dent pulling, and they have all the right tools to do it professionally and pull it all out. Then they're gonna primer it, and then this will then go to Yashio factory to get the rear fenders cut and the aero kit installed and painted, and maybe a livery. Not sure on that one just yet. And at the same time that these guys are gonna be pulling all the little intricate dents out from that hood smashing on the roof, we're getting this whole back panel changed. This back panel got completely destroyed in not only that last accident I had, but when I made a mistake of not tying down the car properly and backing it up on Okachan's truck, and this whole thing just went into the back of the tire rack on the truck, and it destroyed it. We're gonna be getting a new boot lid as well. I already have the parts kind of in there, as you can see. And I'm just looking over the roof right now to see if there's any other dings that I didn't circle. But the main thing is, I just want all of these things fixed. And roof dings are generally the hardest to pull out. And a lot of places generally don't even pull them out. They just bog over the top, and that's not what I want. I want these properly pulled out and fixed. And they're gonna be pulling the glass seal out too to get into these places here. This time around, I'm hoping that the paint and body will come out a lot nicer. We're nowhere near as rushed, and we're not working on such a small, crazy budget this time as well. So hopefully it should come out looking a lot better, especially with the new Yashio factory Golf R Aero, which is the same that's on my FD car, which means when we get this thing reshuckened, we are gonna have to register it as a wider vehicle again. And we'll get to show you and teach you guys all that process here in Japan, which is pretty complicated, but also pretty cool. That also reminds me is I need to make sure I have the paperwork ready for the transmission swap and the different tail shaft. There's a lot of rules and regulations in Japan what you can register on the street. Not all engine swaps are legal, and transmission swaps too. Like you have to do all this stuff to make sure they're legal and you can register on the street too. Anyways, you guys like my mirror fix? She ain't going nowhere. Got that gum tape on there. We're gonna load up the S15 in a little bit, but I wanna show you a new product from GamerSupps. You've all been seeing me drinking their energy drinks on the channel, and if you wanna know why I drink them, there's a link to a private video down in the description that goes into detail. But they're about to drop their new SUS snacks, which is sustainable nutritious food bars. And these are awesome. They sent me a sample pack early, and I've been really enjoying them. They're kind of like a, I don't know, back in the day, my mum actually used to make rice puff snacks that look like this and put them in my lunchbox. But these taste amazing, and they come with a bunch of protein and other things in them that are good for you. So I've been really enjoying these just as a quick to go meal when I forget to eat breakfast and stuff like that, which has been really helpful on those busy days. If you are interested in grabbing any GamerSupps products, please watch that video once again down in the description, and you can use my coupon code SAMMIT store-wide to get 10% off. And now let's get back to the S15. We got the 15 loaded up on the truck and we're about to take it to the body shop. But I just find it ironic. We're going to a body shop, but we're still going to pick this thing up and it's going to have all this damage on there once they've done the work that I've asked them to. As I've said before, Okachan has brand new doors chilling at his shop for me that will switch over. But I kind of want to keep this door because Okachan's first S15 and my first S15 that we built crashed into each other here. So it's kind of like a little sentimental and a little funny and like just ironic. So I kind of want to keep this, but I also don't want to keep it because it's a freaking door. Maybe I can just like cut it in half or something and put it on the wall somewhere. I don't know. It'd be cool if we could just get the skin off or something, but we'll see what happens. It'll probably just live behind the HQ at some point, and maybe sometime in the future we'll do something. But for now, let's get to the body shop. We got the 15 to the Bankia-san, which is the body shop here in Japan. I love this place so much because they have proper frame machines and everything to straighten everything out, and they work on a bunch of cars. There's another 15 in front of mine, which is getting a bunch of work done. We finished talking to the guys. They know what they need to do. We got to get them a new set of tail lamps just so they make sure everything lines up really nice. So that's going to get done. But yeah, these are definitely like the guys that hook it up. They got all the right gear for what we need. And then after this, we'll go straight to Yashio factory, get the new aero fitted, and then she'll be off. This is probably going to be a bit of a pain, and in some of these places here, we're going to have to take the glass out, I think, to get to these little dents here that are like, you can see here, that are like in and under the rubber there. It really sucked when the hood came up on this, but I'm also glad that this is getting redone because you can see here that when we had this car painted, and it was such a rush last time that like we weren't able to pull, they didn't pull any of the seals out when they painted it. So yeah, you can see like blue trimming line, tape lines around there, but you get what you pay for at the end of the day, don't you? It's gonna come back looking better than ever, and I'm hyped. I just got back to the shop and Uber delivered me a Koko Ichi curry. These things are amazing. I always go for the cutlet with the vegetable curry. Let me show you this. It's to die for. Best thing ever. Always get the pickles too, guys. Don't ever skimp out on those. They taste amazing. Just eat them with the curry at first if you don't like them. Oh yeah, look at those veggies. Whew. The little things in life, man. Koko Ichi curry is the best. Love this. I'm going to chow down on this, and then we'll get back onto the abandoned S15. The curry was absolutely fire, but it is starting to get a little late now, so we're going to make ourselves a coffee before we work on the car. I've always been a sucker for these pod machines, not sponsored or anything, and this is my Halloween special Starbucks mug. So we're going to fill this up. Oh, I should tell you about this. This is Daigo Saito's turbo wheel, guys. So his D1 car, not the round that just happened at Ebisu, but the round before that, it ate a hose clamp, and he sent the turbo to GCG to get rebuilt. And I was at GCG the other day doing a dyno training session with them in mainline, and they were rebuilding the turbo for him, and they gave me this. So I have Daigo Saito's damaged turbo wheel. We're gonna go actually hang out with Daigo soon. So I'm gonna try to remember to bring this, and I'll get him to sign it. And I think it'll be a cool like prize to give maybe one of you guys in the merch packs or something. I don't know, we'll see. Let me know if you guys would be keen on a signed Daigo Saito damaged massive G45, I think, turbo wheel, something like that. Anyways, coffee. Oh, I'm excited about this. Oh yeah, that hit the spot. Let's head downstairs now. I've got the Skyline over here right now because we've had to clear out the space here as tomorrow is air conditioning install day, so pretty hyped about that. But having a look here at all the work we did the other day, it's looking really, really good. The rust converter's done its job, and I actually did a bunch of research and spoke to the company that makes the rust converter, and they said that this is designed for us to paint directly over the top of, so we don't need to do any more primer or anything like that, is what they've told me. So I'm going to pretty much tackle the rest of all this stuff today. I'm gonna pull these air lines out and stuff that we just don't need. Probably just gonna cut most of the air lines. Any wires we'll keep there because I do wanna sell the air control system because I'm not gonna keep this thing on bags. But yeah, I'm gonna get all the little bits of surface rust dealt with. I'm gonna take these exhaust hanger, like rubber boot things off, and that way we can get to any more surface rust up and in there. We'll get it all treated and sprayed. We'll wait the time, and then I should be able to paint this whole back section today. I would like to also work on this here, which we should be able to just wire wheel. I ordered a couple more air tools off Amazon. so that we can spin up the wire wheel a lot faster than what the battery drill could. So we've got an air drill, and I got one of these air rotating thingy-bobs too, which is pretty much the same thing as a drill. It's just a straight one. It just spins faster than this one, I believe. And I can just take the wire brush out of the battery drill and put it in there, and we should be good to just kind of zip some more of that surface rust away with this when I can't get to it with this, if that makes sense. So we should be able to get this looking pretty good and done by the end of today, which I'm excited. I started cutting all the zip ties and everything to all the air lines and wires for the airlift system. And I was like, I'm not gonna cut this stuff. I just thought it would be so much better if we disconnected it all from the airlift management here and just pulled it all through so it was all one piece. So whoever gets this in the future actually has all the lines and doesn't have to resource new lines and stuff. So I figured we'd just go to the little bit of extra effort, but I forgot that there was pressurized air in there. So I pulled out the first one and it nearly hit me in the face. So I'm gonna be a little bit more careful now, and I'm just gonna go through and disconnect these lines. But yeah, air systems, guys, they're no joke. Hey, like, definitely new territory for me, that's for sure. This is relatively easy to unplug these. There we go. Now the air system here is completely out of the car and disconnected, and I'm just gonna go through there and pull out some of the zip ties that are holding all the wires and stuff together, and then we'll be able to pull them through the trunk. I don't know if anyone actually wants this airlift stuff. I'm gonna be pulling it all out of the car and putting it aside and in a box. But if anyone does want it, send a DM to the SAMMIT HQ Instagram account, and you'll be able to get in contact with a staff member there, and we'll get this sent off to you. I don't know what this stuff is worth. If anyone can let me know, that'll be awesome. Otherwise, we're just going to Google search what a new set is and then lower the price to what we think is fair for a used kit, because this stuff works great. I guess we'll throw in this air compressor, the hand controller, and everything that is on this car. I don't know if anyone wants these airlift K-Sport coilovers. The rear ones are in pretty good condition. The front ones, though, they definitely need some love. They're pretty rusty. They could clean up with a wire brush and a bunch of acid and stuff to like get that rust off there, but I don't know, they're kind of gone, so I'll probably end up recycling those if no one wants them with the airlift kit. But yeah, I'm gonna get rid of this, pull it all out. Better than just chopping it all off and leaving it for the next person, I think. I've made a pretty big mess on the floor here. So much like rust particles and dirt and stuff just on the ground, but we're good. We got this whole section all prepped and ready for me to hit it with the rust converter and let that sit and then dry. I have been finding a fair bit of putty in places where it looks like they've kind of covered up some rust repairs in the past. And this one was a big one. There was a lot of putty in here, and as this came out, a hole appeared. So that's pretty easy to get fixed. I'll get that plate welded in there. That's not a big deal. Yeah, surprisingly, that's kind of the worst of it. The rest of it was pretty easy to get to, but you can just see places like this rail here. There's a nice like line of putty here. You can even see like it's kind of filling in this hole a bit. That does make me a little nervous here, so I am probably going to just sand this back to just check what's under there, make sure there's not like a huge hole that needs to be welded up. But it was probably just like I would say the rust was all just cleaned off previously and then just kind of filled in, or this could actually be the undercoat. I don't know, but that looks like putty to me, to be honest. And it does look like there's a bit of old rust up in there too. So I don't know. I think someone else has definitely been here before, but it is what it is. And like I said, this car is not going to come out looking squeaky clean, that's for sure, but it's going to look good from the outside. That's all that matters. And as long as all this rear end kind of holds together and doesn't get any worse, we will be fine. Anyways, I'm going to clean the floor and then I'm going to spray this, and then I think we're going to be done for tonight. I'm now finished with coating everything with the rust converter, and I'm going to let this dry overnight, and tomorrow I'm going to paint all of this with the underbody stuff. I was going to try and paint it tonight, but I definitely need to get some of that painter's tape with the plastic built into it, so we can kind of like go along the bumper and then pull like a little chute thing out here. And that way any overspray and stuff like that from the underbed liner will fall down onto the plastic and not onto the floors. I did a little bit of a test run here just to make sure, because I was concerned about overspray and how much particles and stuff like from the paint itself, being that it's like a bed liner kind of thing, would drop down like a Raptor liner, and a lot does fall down. I did have some cardboard on the ground, but tons of it went everywhere. So I just had to remop all the floors to get it all up and walk around with some parts cleaner and try and clean it all up. Luckily, it didn't stain the floor and I caught it right away. But just this little bit here that I did a test run on under where the exhaust shield was, it dropped so much stuff. So yeah, we definitely want to make sure all of that's encased in plastic and all good to go there. So I'll sort that out tomorrow before we paint it. But after this is painted, with the bed liner stuff, all I need to worry about is a few like rust spots here, and like clean this all up here, get this all looking good. And then a few more things like moving forward, like the seals up here, clean those up, and some of this back down and straight. And I'll clean this up with a wire wheel and paint that too. That's kind of it. There's not really any more that needs to be done under the car. The front's pretty good. There was a lot of oil leaks from power steering fluid everywhere, so that's all good. The only other stuff that needs to be done in the front is when this whole front clip gets replaced. So that's pretty much it. And obviously the seals on this side need a bit of attention too, just like the other side. So we'll wire wheel those, straighten them out, and it should be good. But yeah, there's not much left after this, and then we can install the new subframe and start putting together the rear end and put some new coilovers in and whatnot. But that's pretty much it. That's literally it. There's not much more rust under this car that needs to be dealt with. We got out of this very, very lucky, I think. So yeah, we'll undercoat this probably tomorrow, but for now everything's done. And I'm going to push the Skyline back under here just so it's out of the way for the aircon guys tomorrow, because they're going to need actually, I don't know if we're going to be able to work on this tomorrow, because the aircon guys are going to need all this shop space here to install the 3 units up at the top. It's now time to wrap up today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Today definitely wasn't the kind of video that I wanted to make, and it may have come across a little bit rushed and a little bit thrown together, and that's purely because I have been in bed like dead for the last few days. I slept through days and it didn't even feel like I slept through days, and then when I started actually feeling better, which was for the first time today, I didn't even, like, I literally thought it was still like Saturday and it's actually Monday. So it time warped me. I don't understand what it was. I probably should have gone to the doctor. I did take COVID tests. None of them came up positive. They were all negative, but it gave me the same feeling as when I did experience that. So like I had immense brain fog as well and stuff like that today. And it's just been a struggle to kind of like get back out of it. I think like all of my friends got sick after Vegas too, and SEMA, just because there's so many people there and we're all like running ourselves down day in, day out, like never stopping. And like, we're obviously up really, really late, you know, with all the after meetings and after parties and stuff like that. And then you'd sleep for like 3 hours if you were lucky, and then you'd be back at SEMA again the next day in the morning. Like, so it was just insane. And I think from wearing ourselves all down, we all caught like the flu or some kind of weird cold that just destroyed us. So I'm not really surprised I ran myself down, and it kind of caught up with me in the end. I'm sure you could tell I was sounding pretty sick, and I still am sounding a little croaky on the vlogs and through the camera, but I'm finally on the up mend now, and it feels good to have a couple days of literally just sleeping, even though it didn't feel like it was, but you know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, we're getting back into the full swing of things this week. We have a lot of stuff to get done, and we also have a brand new pre-order pack, which I'll be announcing in the next video. Please keep an eye out for that. That is definitely something that you all should be jumping on. It's gonna be really, really cool, and it's a first for the YouTube channel, and I guess the merch store entirely. I guess I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek. I guess, but this is one of the items that you guys will be able to get. So I'm really excited about it. Anyways, guys, I hope you are excited for the next vlog, and I hope to see you again soon. Smash that like button, write us a comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next vlog. Peace.